Hi there, and welcome to my new show, Sonic Character Chaos, the show where we look way too deep into our favorite Sonic characters' designs, personality, and themes to find cool stories, facts, and morals we can take from the character that no one at Sonic Team probably ever intended. For our first episode, what's a better start than the Blue Blur himself? And this is just the first episode, and I already feel a huge pressure to get this right. Mainly because this spiky blue rat is my favourite character in all of fiction, and while there are absolutely more nuanced and interesting characters out there in the wide world of fiction, the blue guy has always stuck with me no matter what. Luckily, I do think I've got some interesting ideas to do Sonic justice. It was the start of the 90s, and Nintendo's grip on the game industry was basically undeniable. They were at the top, they were the head honchos, they had the monopoly, and, well, Sega had to step up and do something. They needed a new mascot, and this mascot needed to stand out. It needed edge. It was their sign of rebellion against Nintendo. The message that their monopoly in the games industry was coming to an end. That's right, you're going down, you red Italian pipe cleaner! And this is reflected a lot in his character. Sonic, at the end of the day, is of course a good guy. He's the hero. But he's not your everyday goody two-shoes. He's got edge, he's got snark, and he's got style. He'll do the right thing, but he's not one to take orders. Sonic, when you really look at him, is a character with a lot of punk undertones. I mean, let's start off by looking at his theme songs from some of the games. Starting off with his theme song from Sonic Adventure, It Doesn't Matter. This is a song all about doing things your own way, and doing them for yourself. And then there's his other theme, His World from Sonic 06, which is performed by Matty Lewis and Ali Tabatabai from the punk band Zebrahead, which is a great band, by the way. This song is very aggressive, and it's in your face, it hypes up Sonic, he's a rocket and he's ready to go, he's kicking ass fast, and of course, this is his world. Both songs notably mention that Sonic isn't one to compromise as well. That's right, if there's only one slice of pizza left, Sonic ain't gonna share with you! You know, maybe now that I think about it, perhaps Greg Martin chose to depict Sonic's quills as a mohawk because it fits with that punk style that Sonic sort of leaned into. It does feel a bit weird now to call Sonic a punk, especially with IDW's new villain, Surge the Tenrec, who was leaning way more into that punk aesthetic than Sonic ever did, but you know, she is supposed to be a dark mirror of Sonic, so it kinda still works. Speaking of character design, let's talk about that for a bit. Sonic is a simple but effective design, as most mascots should aim to be. Sonic makes pretty good use of shape language, where you hide certain shapes in a character design to convey things about the character in question. For example, circles are usually a sign of a happy, friendly character. Squares are a sign of a character with a commanding or strong presence, and triangles are a sign of a dangerous or wild character. Sonic's spikiness obviously lends itself to having triangles all over, but he's also quite circular too. I think this conveys well that Sonic lives on the wild side. He's impossible to tame, but at the end of the day, he means well and does the right thing. Let's talk about Sonic's colors. No, not Sonic colors, Sonic's colors. Why do you think Sonic is blue? To match the Sega logo, obviously, but as well as that, blue is a peaceful, serene color, while red is a fiery, passionate color. Sonic is blue, and he also wears bright red shoes, conveying that he stands for peace, but he's got some passion and fire in him. No, not literally like a secret rings, but metaphorically, he's got fire in him. Why in Adventure was Sonic's eyes made green? Well, when I looked into what the color green could represent, I found two answers that I liked. Green represents nature, and of course Sonic games have always had a theme of nature and technology, so it could represent that. Or, green can also represent new beginnings, and of course Sonic Adventure was a fresh new start for the Blue Blur in this new era of gaming that he was fashionably late to. Just a bit of a side note as well, isn't it interesting by the way that Mario is red with blue as a secondary color while Sonic is blue with red as a secondary color? Just something to think about. But you know what? Despite everything I said about him earlier, being a punk and all that, there is a person, a Hedgehog, who always wants to do the right thing. Sonic Unleashed is a popular game among fans for its story, and the more I think about it, I think I've figured what makes this game great story-wise. The story of Sonic Unleashed is really about showing the kind of person Sonic is. Sonic in this game is snarky and cocky, but he's also kind. And it's also the game where I think he shows the widest range of emotions. He shows fear, he can be upset, and it's quite interesting to see Sonic have this more emotional range. In a lot of games, Sonic's the one running around carefree, inspiring others and defeating Eggman with little hardship, but Unleash has Sonic pushed to his limit, which admittedly makes it stand out, story-wise.
Well, from here on out, it's my responsibility, so, I mean, there's no reason for you to come along, so I should just...
Do I need a reason to want to help out a friend?
Thanks, Sonic.
Black Knight is another game that's notable for its characterization of Sonic, displaying that while he's fighting for the side of good, he isn't gonna sit down and do other people's bidding just because they think it's the right thing. And while it's not canon, it'd be criminal not to mention the episode of Sonic X where he refuses a request to attend a party with the president because he agreed to hang out with his new friend, a disabled girl named Helen, which is just adorable. Another piece of Sonic media that quite likes to look into Sonic's character is the IDW comics. The IDW comics challenge his ideals a lot, namely his second chance rule with villains, not killing them, giving them another shot, and that decision leads to a lot of consequences in the IDW comics. It leads to the metal virus, it leads to Surgeon Kit being made, and despite all that, Sonic stays firm on his stance. Because, as he says at the start of the comic, he does things his own way, and as he says in the Zeti Hunt, he's not about to drop his ideals out of fear. Some people have criticized the IDW version of Sonic for being sanctimonious, being on a high horse morally, but I think if anything, this shows what makes Sonic distinct from Mario. Mario is a crowd pleaser, designed to appeal to as many people as possible, while Sonic has a distinct edge to him. He does things in his own way, even if some people don't like it. And that applies to how he is both in canon and how he's marketed. His cocky attitude may come off as cool to some and annoying to others, but to Sonic, that doesn't matter. He won't compromise himself just to please everyone. So, in the end, who are we to say what Sonic should be? Sonic is what Sonic wants to be. And when there are people like Ian Flynn, Jeff Fowler, and Takashi Iizuka, and of course us the fans who want to see Sonic succeed, what does a few people saying Sonic was never good or hasn't been good since the 90s really mean? I should clarify that I'm not saying we should support Sonic Team releasing mediocre products, by the way. That's not what I mean at all. But what I mean by that is, if you like the adventure games, Unleashed, or hell, even 06 or Forces, then don't let what people say about them affect you. Take notes from the Blue Blur himself and live your own way. And that applies to more than just Sonic. People criticizing you for being different and not to their standard? To hell with them. And that's what Sonic's character is all about. Your differences may make you not fit in, but they are what makes you, you. And you should own it and live your own way. And that is what Sonic, as a character, is all about. Wow, this got really sappy for a video about a blue rat that runs fast. Baldy nose hair, am I right? Hey guys, before I go, I just want to quickly say thank you for 300 subscribers. That doesn't sound like a lot, but it does mean a lot to me. And as promised in my 200 subscriber special, I will be doing my crappy cover of It Doesn't Matter from Sonic Adventure 1. Don't you worry, I will embarrass myself again for you.